Man. You don't even have Instagram, girl.
See, hear me here. There it is. Check one, the DJ Booth Radio Show. We here, y'all. We back in the building. Happy Tuesday to everybody. It's your man DJ Knowledge. I got my girl co-host with me, Ash Reality Recycled in the building today. We got some special guests in the building, man. But before we get into that, I'm gonna shout out the sponsors. DJ Duke is out of town on business. You know, he's always somewhere doing something, DJing, mixing it up for the people. So we're going to shout out to Math Through Music, which is an innovative way for kids to improve their math skills through the art of DJing. This program comes with a kit, comes with a duffel bag that's filled with a DJ controller, comes with a laptop that kids can download their favorite music that they choose. It also comes with a textbook that's made out of actual vinyl with the curriculum in it. So it's geared towards helping kids get more interested in math at the same time doing one of the things they love to do, which is music. So other than that, we got Duke always shouts out BMF Moscato, also the Mary J. Blige Sun Goddess wine. I actually had a chance to taste the Pinot Grigio or Grigio, or how do you say that?
Grigio.
Yeah, I had a chance to taste that. It's a little bitter, but I'm actually a bitter person, so
I like it too. I don't like too sweet.
Yeah, I don't like too sweet either. So, so hey, we're gonna hold it down. Like I said, we got some special guests in the building. We're gonna introduce them in a second. But how was your weekend, Ash?
Man, my weekend was pretty cool. Like I got a chance to harvest from my garden for September.
Okay.
I also got a chance to get company. Friends came over, and then my neighborhood had a block party that we do every year for the community, and that was really cool, really dope. They brought the little bouncies out for the kids and things like that.
Mhm.
So it was really cool.
So what was the harvest this time?
All right, so I harvest. Oh, this dude. It's Duke.
Oh, Duke calling in.
Duke? What up? What up?
How y'all
Feeling
Good, bro.
Feeling good. Talking about our weekends. What's going on with you?
Hey man, listen. I want to say I love America.
Start there.
Never like America, man. I love this country. I know they probably listening, but this shit real. But I definitely want to say, I love our country. We take a lot of things for granted.
Okay.
There's no street signs. The animals run wild. Like, I'm back
No, seriously. The
Yeah.
Like, you know the food. You don't know what I'm talking about. It's crazy. But I mean, it's crazy.
You gotta try some new things.
Yeah, I'm about to say you can't. First of all, you can't talk in Duke language. You gotta slow it down.
Okay.
You gotta slow it down.
Right. And then look online and see how you say it in their language.
Where is he?
In Aruba.
Dutch invaded this country. So what's it called? What is the Netherlands?
Yes.
There's all type of languages.
Oh, that's awesome. The Dutch will have them.
I appreciate y'all, you know what I mean? Taking the time out. Who we got in that county there?
All right, yeah.
What's up, Duke?
Well, you the plug, boy.
Nah, you good. Enjoy yourself. Be safe.
I appreciate that.
Make sure you read the labels of everything you eat.
Right.
Read the expiration dates.
Okay.
Got KFC, huh?
Oh, wow.
What? Wow. What up, bro?
What up, y'all?
Duke calling in from Aruba, out there looking sunny. Yeah, man.
Oh, you don't learn something.
Real quick, how
Hi,
you doing?
DJ.
How you doing? What's your name?
I'm good. I'm Dr. Shamara. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh, you're a doctor.
Yeah, I forgot. We got to pronounce that. We got to say it all together.
Right.
Dr. Shamara.
Right. Don't leave that out.
So, huh?
I'm an electrical engineer.
She's an electrical engineer, renewable energy specialist.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Nice. She's every woman.
Yes.
But I honestly want to say you could have all them jobs. I'm not going to say
I actually graduated with electrical engineering degree
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's awesome.
from
Got
Morgan
a lot
State.
in common.
Yeah.
that's major. I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all have a major show. Tonight I'm live at 7 o'clock, bjankworld.com. Tomorrow I'm live at 9 o'clock on the beach, 9 a.m. I'm sorry. So you have a great show. Don't feel free to send me a cash app. They take cash app there.
All right, Duke. Be good. Be safe. You breaking up. You
Okay.
breaking up. You breaking up. Good night. Good night.
All right. Bye.
So you were saying you harvested in your harvest. What did you harvest again?
I harvested jalapenos,
Okay.
Mad Hatters, tomatillas, a little tomatoes,
Okay.
some mint and some basil.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Nice. All right.
Yep, so we
Sheesh.
used it. Oh, and some chives, and we used it to cook. And I made salsa from scratch. We had brunch.
Okay.
I took the jalapenos and chopped them up. Put them on top of some burgers.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good.
Awesome. So this weekend I was house music. Let's see. Saturday was the Collective Minds Festival, which is the biggest house music festival in Baltimore. Unfortunately, I didn't make it because the line was so long. By the time I got out there to get in to drive
To
in,
drive in.
it didn't make sense for me because I had a gig I had to set up for at 5:30. So it was like by the time I sit in this line, get in there, go say hi, it's gonna be time for me to go back to the car and come back. So I just turned around and went to my gig, set up the gig. It was cool. 7-Eleven. It was a 50th birthday party. Shout out to Ty. Happy birthday, Ty.
Happy birthday, Ty.
And then after that, I went to the after hours from
What after hours?
Yeah,
you
uh,
doing?
1722 North Charles
Oh,
Street.
Sugar.
Yes,
I love Sugar.
Deep Sugar was
I
Saturday.
love Sugar.
And they did it extra long this time because it was a Collective Mind. So all weekend it was house music
Oh,
from
man,
9.
we
They did
missed
9
it.
to 3.
Oh,
No, I'm sorry, 9 to 4. I didn't leave there till 3:30. Yes, I was dancing till my knees hurt.
Y'all hear that?
that is awesome.
I was dancing till my knees hurt. Literally, I went straight from the gig around. I left the gig around 12. I got there at 12:30. I didn't leave till 3:30. Danced my heart out the whole night. And
That's
had a
pretty
ball.
awesome.
Had
You
a
got
ball.
some exercise.
Exercise, therapy. That's
Oh,
my therapy.
man,
Dancing.
music, but that type of music anyway, it just that the vibration from that type of music makes you feel
Yeah.
like you could do anything. Like I'm
Yeah,
Superman. I
super,
could do
right.
anything. Yeah,
Right.
to make
Wow.
you feel like
Right.
that.
So we're going to introduce these folks here we got today. I got a very special person here. She's my friend / my mentor / the boss. We got Chef Connie in the building. Chef Connie Johnson in the building. Say hi, Chef.
Hey guys, how are you?
And we also have Dr. Shamara in the building. She's joining us today as well. She's into
Hey.
solar energy.
Yep.
So we're going to learn some stuff today. Sound like we're going to have a very educated
Yeah, I'm
and
excited.
fun show.
I'm excited.
Let's move this mic down for you.
Thank you. I was hoping that could happen.
Hope and you shall receive.
You shall receive. Right.
So let's talk to Chef Connie first, because she has, I'm sure y'all have heard me speak of this event coming up October the 1st. It's called I'm Every Woman. I've mentioned it before on the show. So this is the mastermind behind the I'm Every Woman event. And so tell us a little bit about the I'm Every Woman event coming up October 1st and what made you come up with that?
The I'm Every Woman event is part of my brand, and it is an opportunity for women to learn wellness through cooking, eating, and mentoring. I am a certified chef, so I try to use my skills as a chef as a platform for healthy lifestyles and as mental health. I'm an advocate for mental health reform, so all that I do is the platform for mental health reform. And this I'm Every Woman is going to benefit girls in high school, elementary school, and middle for mental health reform through Keys Empowers. So for every woman that comes, her ticket, she will get a T-shirt, and she will also be in a position to sponsor a young girl for mental health counseling through Keys Empowers.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's
We're
awesome.
expecting almost 1,000 women there. My goal is
Wow.
2,500. We have data that suggests that 67% of young girls, middle school and high school, that attempted suicide last year, and they are not getting the mental health reform that is necessary beyond case management. So this platform is advocacy for that, to let funders know and let healthcare providers know and insurance companies know that we hear the call, we hear the cry. Now let's answer it. This is also an opportunity to meet the cast of The Wiz. I'm the executive producer of The Wiz, and I cast it in Baltimore, all women, an all women's cast. All women, over 300 women in this production. Cast members, photographers, producers, mentors, hair stylists, makeup, you name it, all women. You will get a chance to work out with the cast members at this event to see exactly how they are advocating for social reform for mental health.
Yes,
That is
man.
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're gonna come back to that in a minute because that's deep.
That's deep.
That's deep. So we got Dr. Shamara. Give us a little bit about what you do.
Hey
And-
everybody, with Erica, peace and love, brothers.
Yay!
All right.
I love it. She's a hippie.
I have been called that.
Yeah.
I'm a renewable energy specialist. So my background or my specialty is in solar energy, but I know the others well, like hydropower or wind power.
Mhm.
That's my specialty, electrical engineering, and I have my doctorate work was in material characterization. So when we think about the solar panel, I worked on the material inside that solar panel. So I'm also the chief technology officer for a consulting company. We're a boutique firm. My business partner is an industrial engineer. So
Mhm.
we do business strategies and sometimes implementation of those solutions.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Are
I
you
was
from Baltimore?
wondering.
I'm from Columbia, Maryland.
So she's from Maryland.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was wondering what CTO meant, but now you clarified that.
Okay.
For those of you that have been living under a rock somewhere,
Okay.
solar technology deals with taking energy from the sun. We want to make sure everybody
Right,
understands
clear,
what's going on here. You
right.
know what I'm saying? In case you don't know, solar energy deals with taking energy from the sun. So that's very important. So, you know,
Right.
That's impressive.
it is impressive.
That's very impressive.
It is impressive. What university did you graduate?
thank you.
Undergrad and graduate.
Sure. Well, God is good first when you talk about like impressive, that 2/3. So sometimes I'm in that 1%, but also sometimes I'm in that 60% when you talk about suicide. But my
Okay.
undergraduate degree was in EE as well at Morgan State.
Okay.
So representing the HBCUs.
Yeah.
Go
And
Bears.
my family's from Baltimore, but then I went down to South Florida. It's the Bulls, University of South Florida.
Okay.
And I did
What
the
year
same
did you
work.
come out of Morgan?
Oh boy.
Because you know I was there. I was there.
You were there.
I only say that because I'm a Howard University Bison.
Okay.
So
Okay,
HBCU.
Howard.
Let's go Bears and Bison.
Yeah. But 2012, I graduated there.
22. Oh,
in
shit.
2018 with my
I was long
doctorate.
gone. 2012. Sorry. They didn't have they didn't have the they had the new parking lot and all that shit by then. We ain't had none of that shit. They had a garage and we ain't had none of that
Man,
shit.
now they got a whole shopping center.
A bridge and everything.
In 2012, I had 6 children by then.
Mm.
Jeez.
Oh wow.
So we got this kind of like all ties in together here. We got Ash over here who is like the herbalist, the specialist, and if you want to get your garden going, you want to get your mental health going in terms of what type of things you can do at home to make it simple to buy your everyday products, herbs and stuff
Yes.
that you can get yourself together. We got Connie over here who's going to bring together over 1,000 women
Yeah.
to exercise, doing yoga, doing cardio,
And Zumba
Zumba,
and walking.
and walking. Is also going to be vendors out there
Yes.
that are going to be selling healthy things
Yep.
and also women's products.
Yes.
The reason why I know this because I'm kind of like I said, that's my boss.
I was
my
like,
boss.
knowledge, you really into this.
It's showing. Look, I'm getting cool points with my
Okay,
boss because I
yeah.
gotta make sure I know what the hell I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about now.
Because she asks me at least one time a week, knowledge. What are you going to be doing for I'm Every Woman?
Yeah.
Because you're not a woman. What is your purpose?
How can you?
How can I help?
contribute?
Exactly. So
Well, you know, when you say that, so we do have men that are coming specifically to stand around the perimeter of where we're working out as our protectors. So men
Awesome.
are involved in this process. It
Wow.
actually shows the connection of family, man versus woman.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, and to tie it all together, we have Dr. Shamara, who's an energy specialist.
Yes.
And so,
yes.
as we all know, solar, again, deals with the sun, which is one of the most important things. Without sun, we won't have life.
Right.
So here we go.
In simple life, right? So you could do photosynthesis when you talk about the herbs and the plants that grow. So
Right.
these sound like really big expressions, but
Right.
they're not. You just break it down, right? So photo is just from the light. It's a energy particle. And then you say synthesis, photovoltaics, which is the technical term for solar cells. Yeah.
So again, for those of you that don't know,
Mm-hmm.
who have not ventured into this word, we did learn this back in elementary school. Photosynthesis is how plants convert sunlight into food.
Into food. Yes.
I still remember.
That's
Basics. They would matter.
That was
That-
when Baltimore
exactly.
City's
That would
education
matter.
was great.
And we did not. We always talk about the education and things, and you know, how is it useful? Is it not useful? But those basic things are things that we definitely need to know.
Yes.
You don't really think about those things until you get a little older.
Sure.
Of course, when you're younger, you're like, why am
But
I
then you
need to know
realize
this?
That it's a part of your everyday living. It's
Mhm.
a part of your everyday living to know these things when
Right.
it comes to your food, planting, just the way the atmosphere is. All of that is your everyday living.
Right. So I saw something you sent me about what Dr. Shamara does in terms of like, is it a thin solar panel or something like that? Or
Oh, okay. Yeah. So there are different types of solar panels.
Mhm.
The most popular one are made of silicon. So silicon is
Right.
basically what's in your cell phone. That's where that supply chain demand issue came up, and it really hit a lot of things because it's in every piece of technology.
Mhm.
But I work with cadmium telluride. So again, we're talking about things that are on the periodic table, just elements that
Right.
are part of our Earth.
Right.
And that's really kind of what my interest is like the Earth at a bigger perspective. But just to answer your question about the solar cells, so there are different kinds,
Mhm.
and that's because of the energy band gap. So basically, that's just how much energy needs to go into the material to excite an electron, and that
Mhm.
electron is what goes to electricity.
Mm. She is taking me back. I feel like
She
I'm
is
back
like-
in Morgan State. She's bringing out the nerd in me. She's bringing out the geek in me. Like, yeah, I love these words. I remember that.
But you know what's more impressive? The fact, again, as an advocate for women, to see a sister in this capacity and to speak this language,
Yeah.
which is something that we're used to hearing from men in STEM.
Sure.
So I'm extremely proud of you to be in this position and to be here to talk about this. And I'm hoping that your listeners and viewers pass this on to their children to watch,
Yeah.
because that's a key question. I have kids. Why am I learning this? How does this benefit me? She
Right.
just answered a very
Right.
instrumental question
Right.
for kids to hear. So the
Right.
listeners and viewers, please allow your children to watch this segment and listen to
Yeah.
what the doctor has taught them today.
And that's why I think that it's special because again, I'm an advocate for I'm Every Woman, of course. And to have Connie here, like I said, she's a mentor to me. She's been all over the world, done the numerous things. You know, she's probably not going to speak on it, but I will.
Okay.
Because-
do that
because-
horn.
Yeah, because we have two. This is very important for people to see a young woman, Black woman,
About this
in a
that
in a
looks like
stature,
them.
in a position of being a doctor.
Yes.
Yes.
Not just the doctor that
Yeah.
works on people, a doctor that is dealing with electrical engineering. She's dealing with something that benefits the
Earth.
earth, right?
your
Right,
atmosphere, where
right.
you
The
live,
environment,
your
right,
environment.
right.
every
And
single
so
thing.
Connie as well is like she has a show called Culinary Therapy where she cooks things that instead of doing like your old recipes, stuff that we may normally cook, but we using bad ingredients.
And okay, because
It's
that's
slave
my
food.
favorite word. Because she was upset with me over the weekend because my thing is I do not. I grew up on it. Different types of foods from because I'm multicultural from different ethnicities. At the end of the day, if it's cooked the way that back in the day when we were slaves, well, when our ancestors were slaves, I feel like we deserve to eat better than that.
Yeah.
This was something that we are innovative people naturally. So if we're given scraps, we're gonna make something
gonna make
out
it
of
good.
nothing,
Yeah.
and we're gonna
It
make it
tastes good.
stretch
Mhm.
for the amount of kids that we have.
Right.
So it's like, or our family or our village. And it's important that we look at that food, we can pay homage to our ancestors and
Yes.
say, okay, they did what they did. They were innovative people. Now, how can we turn what they did into something that's better
Yeah.
for us now
Right.
and going forward? And then, I mean, a lot of people don't like to take it biblical, religious, or a lot of people don't like to take it scientifically. But at the end of the day, it speaks. It's so many literature, so much literature
Literature,
out
yeah.
here that tells us how to properly eat
Mm.
And what your
we
food and what your body will accept.
accept
Mhm.
as a human being,
Right.
Right.
and then break it down from being a human being to actually the type of person you are, from your ethnicity, what you can withstand, what you normally would
Mhm.
eat.
And what you can't. Yeah.
I'm tired of us eating soy because we
Uh-huh.
shouldn't eat soy.
Uh,
It's been told to us not to eat soy.
right.
Okay, one of our ancestors told us what soy is used for, but we still eat soy.
What is soy used for?
paint?
Oh.
All types of stuff you
Snap.
can make.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad. Well,
I'm just saying,
I don't
when I
really
found
eat
out
soy
this,
like
it
that.
made me research.
But I was told that soy had higher levels of estrogen in it.
I was told that as well. But the base of the soybean, what was it actually used for when
Okay.
it was found? It was
Okay.
used for chemical,
Gotcha.
certain
It's
things.
the binding agent in paint.
Ah.
So if it bind paint, all
Ah.
I'm saying is
What's it doing
I
to
might
your
not
body?
have all the answers
Right.
to the questions, okay? But I know that if you research, all right, and you see that something that is used for something else, you putting in your body.
You know it's I'll just ideas come to me as we talk, and I know you're building to start your YouTube page.
Yes.
You might need to do a segment called like Mythbusters or something like
Yeah,
things
so
that people say
can
like we
know.
should
wow,
use,
yeah.
but we no.
Right.
Because you'll be like, they say we should eat soy. This is used for paint.
Okay, it's for paint. Who want to put in their body?
I didn't
or
know that.
something like the red 40 or yellow 40,
Well, yellow 40.
things like that. It stains.
I didn't know that.
So
I didn't know
if
that.
you
I know that
taking
stains it.
something and it go in your body and it stain,
Right.
soy in melanated people cause yellowing of our palms and our eyes,
Which is
Mm.
jaundice.
which
Jaundice.
is jaundice.
Okay, yeah.
So
Mm.
keep eating
You
your
learn
soy
something
sauce.
every day. We-
We want to, yeah. You want to know what I cooked yesterday? Speaking of food,
Yes, because I love food.
I made. So I took broccolini, asparagus, mushrooms, and onions. I thought to tell you this because we talked about the slaves, and I sautéed the onions and the mushrooms, and then after it was sautéed al dente, I took the broccolini and asparagus and created a bed over top of it.
Oh,
Put it under the broiler and
Oh.
charred it.
oh,
I charred it. I took some low salt butter and some garlic that I infused in olive oil, mixed it all together, poured it over it, put it back under the broiler, and it browned.
Mm.
Then I took some shrimp, sauteed it in the same butter garlic
Mhm.
regiment, and just poured it over top that broccoli. So it bakes. So actually, what happened was it bakes because it's stuck together. Then I
Man, why we don't have no Tupperware?
Right. For real.
You should put
and
it
you
in
gotta do
plate.
it. And I thought of this because what you just said. I put it in a cast iron. Cast iron retains heat.
Yes.
So
Okay.
if you only cook the mushrooms and onions al dente, the heat will continue to cook it.
Okay.
Just make yourself a nice little bed of asparagus and broccolini.
So what is broccolini?
Broccolini is a more stemmed version of broccoli. It has more protein in it,
Okay.
more chlorophyll.
Okay.
It's better for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
which and another
It's a
thing,
stemmed
people
broccoli.
don't eat they all like, oh, I want the flores, I want the flores.
The stem has the most
The
nutrients.
stem is the most nutrients, right?
Yeah. I like the stem.
So what you do?
Oh, man. I ain't got time.
She
I don't
is
play
serious
about no
about her
food. I don't
food.
play about no
Yeah,
food.
I get you. I get you. I love it.
That's health.
Yeah,
It
that is.
So, doctor, do you eat healthy?
I try to on the spot.
Yes, let's talk about, do you eat healthy?
Yeah, because you're road dog here.
Yeah.
'Cause I've been getting in her case.
Uh-oh.
I gave up on fast food like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was brought to the light, and I figured I'd just stay in the light because I mean it's processed, right?
Yeah.
And so that's a part of my bigger philosophy. So when we talk about, so when I say solar, it's an example of what renewable energy is. And the purpose of renewable energy is the climate change, right? It's not a question of, is climate change real? Climate change is happening. Our climate is changing, and therefore we're having impacts in different ways.
Mhm.
So some people tend to ask me, well, what that got to do with me? How can I contribute to that issue? And you could recycle, you could have a garden, or you could simply eat less processed food because that processed food requires shipment to get into your city or your town. It requires a more industrial location to do the processing. So that's that's a high energy consumption building. Like there's so many things that we don't see as connections, but all of this is about our consumption.
So how my question I'm thinking I just thought of is like, so what does that do? What does that mean for the waste of the processed food in terms of affecting the
There's
I
a
guess
lot
the
of
energy
waste.
or the environment?
It's a lot of waste. It's a lot of waste.
I'm sure.
It's a lot of
I'm sure.
waste.
It's a
Where are
lot
the
of
cameras?
waste. Do you hear that? It's a lot of waste.
Right? We are an over-consuming people,
Right.
meaning us as a culture and beings as a human race. Like this ecosystem that we have is so delicate, and it's designed so well. And because the climate is changing, and because we're doing too much pollution emission, our ozone layer is thinning. And that layer is intended to protect us. That's by design. This is the best planet that can suit our life.
Exactly.
And our wastefulness, our consumption is thinning that layer.
Man,
I do have a question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No.
I have a question. What is the benefit? It's a question. It's a good question. Some people might think it's a
Please.
stupid question, but what is the benefit of solar panels versus electric?
Okay,
Why would someone want to have a solar panel?
sure.
And my question then goes into when it happens when it rains. Is the solar panel restoring energy as it's generating as a backup?
Yeah. Okay. And that's a great question, and it sort of gets to the root of the knowledge spreading part. So two separate things. The solar panel is using the sunlight to convert to electricity.
Okay.
The electric car it's a vehicle. A solar panel is a power source. The electric car is a vehicle. They don't equate. They're two different things.
So it's a power source.
That's what a solar
So
panel
it still
is.
goes through an electrical
So-
process to provide electricity?
Exactly.
Okay.
There's a nuance in between using it for like household electricity and then using it in a different way. But that's exactly it. The solar panel makes electricity. A car drives.
Right.
But how the car is now a part of this conversation of electric vehicles, the infrastructure bill, is because it's the battery doesn't do emissions.
right.
It's not an energy production. It just has less emissions.
Right.
And
Because it's not gas powered.
It's
either.
not gas
Exactly.
powered.
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
Tesla, yes.
Exactly.
So do you believe it's hard right now in this time to get the community to be more aware to climate change and to saving the planet? And what are some of the hangups you believe our community has of getting us forward?
Sure. So first, this is why I love what you guys do, right? Like this initiative that you're putting together, this grooming process for these young women is how we sort of get people into positions like mine where we can know more as a community.
Yeah.
Because we go home and talk about this at dinner time.
Right.
If you know about it,
Right.
then you can.
Right.
Right.
What was the last part of that question?
What are some of the what are some of the hangups
I love
that
it.
you believe our community
Hangups.
has
Yeah.
on getting us forward? Like,
Hangups is just the misinformation. We don't know no better, and so you can't do any better. But
Is it a cost factor?
exactly, and so we're talking about like the curriculum that these schools are teaching. Like it's not done well educating people, and that's why the information isn't being spread well. But us as a community, we don't see the close impact that it's having on us. So they've begun to use the expression environmental injustice. So that happens, or that is defined as something that is exacerbated, something that's made worse in communities of color. So like we were talking about the water earlier, or we can talk about Katrina. I know there's some controversy there, or even the hurricanes in any of the Caribbean places. These are
Haiti.
worse in those places, and we don't have the ability to we don't have a boat to leave with. Not everybody does.
Mm.
And so this stuff, climate change, is going to hit us first,
Right.
period.
Mm.
And we need to do something about it, meaning our communities.
Mm.
And if we don't know any better, again, we won't do any better. And so to sustain that is the funding. So you got $100K for your grant, right?
Right.
We want to be able to have more funding accessible, because the money is there. These
It is
folks
there.
got a lot of grants and a lot of money and loans out there, but we don't know to apply for them.
We
I
don't.
still have another question. Again, I'm thinking that kids are watching. So
Sure.
why solar? Again, I say that in the household. How does that benefit the household?
Okay. Great question.
What
Mhm.
up,
I'm a
Flo? What up,
homeowner.
Flo?
Why am I going to convert my energy source to solar versus the energy sources that are being provided through BG&E?
In other words, BG&E.
Yes, and how is it going to help
start
with the
BG&E.
cause? Let's start with Baltimore Gas and Electric.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you be making me want to come see you.
I already saw
I don't got time for you and your therm game.
the little lady with her little
that-
clipboard.
so the solar panel again acts as a power source. So
Right.
as it takes that energy from the sun and it stores it. It stores it. So say you don't need to use all of your energy at
As a
it will
homeowner-
store all that energy.
So it doesn't store just yet. That's where the battery comes into play. So this opportunity of power sources and battery, we just need to get it and store it. So
Got it.
the battery is what the electric vehicle conversation is. It's why a lot of people aren't into renewable energy because of that storage issue. But BG&E, just to answer that question, like, so if we have a power source, why do we need the gas and electric
Right.
people?
That's okay.
And that's because they have the infrastructure. They have the power lines that go to your place. So we need them to get it to us.
Mm.
And so when they do the solar panel things, they end up like renting them to people and different things like that. And what happens is you're producing power, and this power, it just allows BG&E not to have to make more power. So it's doing them a favor,
Right.
and you may not see so much savings,
Mhm.
right? And so I'm not fully into the utility model, but there's another program called Community Solar, which I think is something that, we could talk about at some point. But Community Solar is like this shared income type thing where if you don't live in your own house, like if you don't have a house to put panels on, your apartment building could put panels on top, and you can get a savings from that, like direct to your bill.
Okay.
Which goes into my next question is how does energy pertain to the health and survival of our community? When it comes to these solar panels and you're putting them on the roof and you're conserving this energy. Yes, we as a whole, we're utilizing energy, we're recycling, we are doing everything to try to keep our planet up to par, right? For us to live. But how does that help with our everyday survival and our everyday health? Like, is it better than us utilizing gas range stoves for our health? Things like that. Like, how is it better
Yeah.
for our community? I guess so that the community can know, so that they can start doing some different stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The community's gonna know.
Yeah.
Because guess what? I'm sponsoring a workshop with this doctor
Okay.
that I'm announcing on air right now. I'm going to sponsor a workshop for
Y'all
her
heard it.
at the Liberty Rec Center. Date to be announced. Tickets are $25 to come hear this lady give education about solar panels, and so that our community can start in the northwest part of Baltimore City. Thank you for your accepting your
Right?
Thanks for the
Okay, she
invite.
told you. She told you.
date
what
to
we
be
doing.
announced.
She is famous for that.
She
She is
told
famous
you.
Date
for
to
that.
be announced. Our goal is to have 250 women, household leaders, to come hear her speak about all of these benefits for our community.
And we're gonna get that. Manifestation real.
Is
I
that?
love it.
I'll tell you how I became involved with this young lady.
No, but I would like to hear it.
But first, let her answer.
We got to answer the question
Yeah.
first.
Okay.
It's okay. The question, I guess, was about like the community feeling the impact first as sort of a motivator to get started. And you know, you don't want to feel the sun on your ass to say I should put sunscreen on. Like,
Right.
Facts. Or you're gonna be using aloe vera, honey. That ass gonna be chafed. I know about it.
So I say that in a bigger perspective, but like we talking about not littering, and I mean these are small things, but that goes to our water stream. It impacts what we're drinking. So like, these are things that we can do, but to make them more tangible, because we are motivated people. There are jobs. There are a lot of jobs in this renewable energy workforce, and so we have outdated curriculums like the technical colleges, Mervo and Poly. Like we're not teaching the right topics. We're not teaching the right topics, and so
Shout out
that's
to Mervo.
yes, that's an immediate impact that the community can feel is if they get into this workforce, because it's money to get.
All right.
All right.
That's
I
awesome.
love it.
I love
I'm
every
loving
bit
it.
of it.
I'm loving it. So let me tell you about this young lady over here, Chef
Okay.
Connie, right?
Okay.
I'm dropping that name, Chef.
Chef. No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
I
You
am.
can't.
I
Once
have
a
to.
chef, always a chef.
Right, exactly. So we met at the barbershop. So she came and I was cutting her kid's hair, and we got to talking about music because I had all this artwork all over my walls and stuff like that. And then she was like, "Well, I'm doing the Wiz over here at Western High School. It's an all girls cast. We've started auditioning, and I mean, we started rehearsing and stuff like that. You should come on by and visit." I'm like, sure, why not? So I walk in. Hey, Connie, I'm here. She's like, "Hey, girls, this is Knowledge. He's our director of music."
Manifestation is real. Okay.
So when she just did that to you, I was like, "Hey, this is a flashback.
It's a future.
This is what she do.
It's a future.
That's what she do."
Manifestation is real.
But
Yeah.
it was real. But you gotta say why I knew. I know people who know music.
Well, I had records. I had some vinyl on the wall of old. I had old covers, and I also had old wax on the wall.
And I knew music. I know
And
music.
she knows music, so she has a background in music. She was A&R for Bad Boy.
And Wiz is a musical. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
So it was like, okay. I was just like, all right, hey y'all, I'm here.
But he did his thing. It was a big project. And that project got us to The Wiz Now, coming next year, 2023. All girls cast, Lyric Theater, touring in 5 different cities. It's going to be great for the city. The Wiz is a platform for mental health as well. So what people don't know is, let me see if you guys know. The Wiz, let's talk about the Diana Ross version.
Okay.
Yes,
Right?
mother.
All right. So,
Yes,
The
mother.
The Wiz is the #1 case study for mental health reform. Dorothy was depressed.
Mhm.
Scarecrow was manic depressant.
Mhm.
Tin Man was schizophrenic.
Yep.
And the Lion was suicidal.
Yep.
You really think about it.
Yep.
So this Wiz, you will actually see those characteristics more prevalent in those characters, where you'll say, like for instance, when the Lion says, "I just want to end it all," which is in the script.
Jump out the roof.
Dorothy will say, "You don't want to take your own life." Her response to those commands will let the audience know this is what we're doing.
Right.
So everything from this point, from I'm Every Woman until next year, we have a year's worth of events and platforms and events and events and events and events to bring people together for advocacy for mental health. We've got Mommy and Me Yoga. We've got platform speakers from Hopkins and University of Maryland that are going to talk to MedStar. We've got gospel celebrations. We've got all these years worth of events. And then the week before the Wiz, which is Wiz Week, we're going to really condense it and have bands out in the city. We're asking the brothers that are outside to knock on the doors, tell the woman who answers the door to please come get screened for mental health, any other issues that her family might have needing social services. So the city is really supporting this project because, again, it's going to be good for this city. We need something refreshing, and to see 300 women performing and dancing. I've got 200 dancers. Peabody, Alvin Ailey.
Yes, Alvin Ailey, come on.
My dance instructor, my makeup artist, Roche, my producers, my production company. And then we have Knowledge. One of the very few men.
Yay.
I'm here. Hi.
So it will be more, coming, more details forthcoming. But again, this is the year of mental health. And guess what? It's okay not to be okay. That's the phrase. It's okay not to be okay. And we are so proud. Sometimes we don't look at those who we live with, who live in our homes, to see mental health breakdowns. I am going to give a testimony really shortly. I see it at home with my daughters after coming out of COVID. What I thought was normal behavior for them, because we all have been stuck in the house so long, now that we're back out in the open, I'm like, she does a lot of staring in space. She's a little withdrawn. She doesn't communicate as much as she used to. She always wants to lie down. She's always tired.
Yeah.
She'd rather be in the bed on the phone. Those are not normal behaviors.
And a lot of the youth, I don't know if she's in the 12, 13, 14,
16.
15 age.
Yep.
A lot of the youth are in that position. My great nieces came here and they were in that same mental state.
Saturday is bright outside.
You want to get up.
They don't. They are laying in the bed on the phone. They go to sleep on the phone with their friends.
Eyes hurting, head hurting because they in this phone.
And they want to get up and eat a pizza. That's a problem. So when you see your daughters, I don't want to dismiss men, but when you see your daughters doing these things, it's not normal. It's time to call their provider and say, I need to make an appointment. And then I made the appointment. She's one daughter out of 3. I learned some devastating information. Like, I had no idea, because I didn't think those age kids don't tell mom all the time, in most cases, everything that they're thinking, but they will open up to somebody who comes down to their level. And the therapist could reveal much, but it was disturbing to know that my child, who I live with, had these type of inner problems and struggles. Yeah. And as I learned, it was painful for her. It was painful for her. And to be very transparent, she decided that she wanted to be on the other side of the coin in a lesbian relationship at a very young age. And she was afraid people wouldn't accept her. So she was living with that struggle internally and afraid of what I would think. I don't care who you love, as long as they love you and you love them and you love God. I'm not to judge who you love. And once I said that to her, she like blossomed.
Yes.
She blossomed. But I got that from motherhood and also her counselor. So I say that to say, parents, just talk to your children and you can just ask your care provider. Can you just, ask her a couple of questions? They creatively ask the questions where the child doesn't even know she's being screened.
Right.
That's what this advocacy from I'm Every Woman is designed to talk to people about. Talk to your provider.
It's
Yeah.
important.
It's definitely important.
It's important.
And definitely important, even for the young men out there, and the mothers and the fathers, or the fathers per se, that talk to their sons. And I'm definitely one of those guys, because I see it with my son. He's like, he's gotten way better now, in my opinion. I mean, it's always a work in progress, but in terms of him being like recluse,
Yeah.
and wanting to always had a hoodie on,
Right.
and, you know, it's kind of like, I think we had this conversation before, Connie. We were talking about, why do the kids always want to wear these hoodies? And it's almost like a cloaking
Sense of
device.
protection.
Right, exactly.
That's why I like to wear hoodies. I like oversized hoodies with biker shorts, because
You feel protected?
it's not about protect. Well, I get the protection point of view from a teenager's point of view. But for me, it's like oversized, so you feel like you're snuggled in a blanket. Like you kind of feel like, in a sense,
So for them, it's
safe,
probably more
protection,
of the
like,
case
yes.
of they want to be invisible.
That's how I get it.
Right.
With some of
It's like, don't
my
talk to
young
me.
nephews,
Leave me alone.
It's like, I'm not here. I
invisible.
checked out.
I'm not even here.
And don't let them have on headphones.
Oh yeah.
Right. You can't see me.
Right. And she said, they have these headphones on. Parents, it's not normal. We have got to get our kids out of that state of mind.
Raise your child in the 60s. If you got an infant toddler now, I feel raising children, this is how I will do mine, without Coco Melon, without SpongeBob, without just here, because you're getting on my nerves,
Right.
and hand them your phone. It should be more of an interaction. And just me, I feel I can see a difference in others who did not have that. Like, just because the time is different with technology, it was still a different thing then that was on the same lines now, where in turn I was involved in extracurricular activities, doing things socially with others, where some didn't have that luxury.
Right.
They had to babysit their younger siblings, or they couldn't go anywhere, period, because their mother either couldn't afford it, or either their mother didn't know anything about it, which goes back to what Dr. Shamara said, is about, all right, if you don't know no better, then you're not going to do no better. So then as we get older, I see a difference in the socialization skills, personality.
Yeah.
And then it's like, damn, like, I really like you. I really enjoy being your friend. But like we said, energy, manifestation, knowing and not knowing, it makes people say, okay, well, look, I'm gonna just move on over here and let them do what they do, which ends up going back to people not being able to openly talk about how they feel. So with that, it's like, come on, like, raise your children up to be more interactive with others. Go outside, enjoy the sunlight, get some good vitamin D, the good kind.
But I want to say this too, though. And Connie knows I'm an advocate for this. Stop spoiling your goddamn kids.
I don't agree.
Shit.
No, it's spoiling.
I don't agree.
It's not
I
spoiling. Listen. It's
if
not
they do
spoiling.
well, they get rewarded.
So let me clarify. Let me clarify.
Let the doctor chime in.
Let me clarify about what I mean. Spoil. What I mean is like everyday things, some simple things that they should learn, that they will have to learn anyway in order to be self-sufficient. We take that away from them in a sense. We don't teach them. We want to do everything for them because we feel like, oh, I didn't have this,
so let
me do it for you. No, like, stop. Like we like a child, and I'm speaking. I'm not talking about 5, 6, 7 years old. I'm not talking about the babies. I'm talking about the teenagers, 12, 13, 14, 15.
But we live in a
But
different time.
that's what Mia Monet 85
No,
just
you're
said
right,
is
though.
What's
dangerous.
dangerous?
The times
Right.
have
Well,
changed.
well,
For real,
yeah.
kids can't go
No.
outside and be kids
Now
no
you
more.
know what
It's
I'm about to
dangerous.
say.
You had to
And
beg
that's the
us
same.
to
Who
come
said that?
Now
Who
inside.
you-
said that? Monet.
You know what I'm about to
Mia
say.
Monet 85 said it's
I agree. I
changed.
just
Let
said
me-
the same thing.
Let me tell you something. The things, it has changed, but it ain't changed that damn much.
Oh, it's
Because
Well,
niggas was
I
shooting
agree
in the
in a
80s.
way.
Niggas was shooting in the 90s.
All right.
Everybody
There
was
was
shooting.
dead bodies
It
in
was
the
guns.
alleyway
It
from
was
an
guns.
OD.
It was guns in this country way before we was even here. People been shooting for a long time. We've been killing ourselves for a long time. If you think about the hip hop in the 90s, what they were talking about, fight the power. We
Fight
gotta,
the powers that be.
you know what I'm saying? They was talking about because while they was having such a black movement in the 80s and 90s, because we was fucking killing
Killing
ourselves.
each other.
We was destroying ourselves then.
Right.
So
And it's the same thing.
so don't
now.
get it twisted that, oh, it's dangerous now. No, what happened was social media.
Okay.
It put it in your face.
The internet.
You had
was born.
access to all this worldwide chaos
But you have
going
to
around.
change with the times.
We in the land
I
of
just feel
ether.
like you have to change with the
Uh,
time. And I agree. 'Cause
I don't
again,
necessarily. Man,
yeah.
now, if we change, if we would now, if I'm
You have to change with times.
gonna throw something, I'm throwing a wrench in there.
All
If
right.
we change with the times, does that mean you talk to your child the way she talked to her friends?
Exactly.
So what happened was the parents stopped having something to say. So like when we talk about the energy thing, right? If you don't know no better, you can't do no better. But our elders knew better. They just didn't define it the way we did. So like, they put the snake or the thing up at the door if it's drafty. Like that's energy efficiency, clogging your draft with this towel that you
Right,
just rolled out.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
that's something that we do to save energy, but it wasn't called that, but we do it. That's because we saw it. So these kids don't see things to model or to do. Like
Mhm.
it's nothing for them to copy. And so it's exactly what you're saying about the parent giving it to them because they didn't have it.
Or they're thinking that it makes their lives better or
Right.
easier.
Right.
Which I get it from a standpoint of wanting to leave a legacy, because that's something that we do not have, generational wealth. That's something that we don't have. So I get leaving a path or even the knowledge to get to wealth. If we don't have, I left my son $500,000. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, because we keep taking from our family, giving to all these major families.
but what I'm saying is, when I come across young men,
Yeah.
like I'm a barber, I come across young men who can't even don't know how to do anything.
Right.
And I'm saying like basic, like boil the water, son.
Yeah, well, how
Do you
about
know
women who
how to
want a
do that?
husband and can't cook? The fuck you think you doing, girl?
Right.
You know,
So-
and our demon is the social media. Now,
Yeah.
I gotta say this. Shout out to Connections, Principal Brooks. Shout out to Connections. Today, I took my children to school, and when I tell you they have pouches, the kids have to come in the door, put their cell phone in a pouch. The pouch locks
Mhm.
until 3:15.
Right.
So for once in probably
Hell yeah.
forever, there's a school that does not allow cell phones. The teacher used to take it.
Yeah.
It became
Yeah.
confrontation
Right.
with the teacher.
Right.
The principal. No.
Then the parent come
Prin-
and say,
so
"Hey,
wait,
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 so
wait,
that's
Principal Brooks has a
but that's
nice
a-
little pouch.
But that's a prime example right there. How we talk about, we got a couple minutes left. How we talk about, we gotta adjust to the times. Times is different, right? We didn't have cell phones,
Right.
No, I
right?
had a
And the
pager.
first thing people want to say is, he need that in case something happened. I need to get in touch with him. Oh, he need
They
like
still make
Alexander
pagers, you
Bell.
know.
we still
Still
was
got
able
the
to
message.
All right,
get
Bell
the
Atlantic
right. We
was
still
a
was
house
able to
phone.
get help
Yeah.
and get stuff done. I mean, come on, man. We gotta stop. We
Well,
gotta
honey,
stop
those
letting this
students-
technology cripple ourselves,
You should
man.
have seen the students. I had one boy, he was banging the thing on the wall trying to get the pouch open. Yeah, somebody with scissors trying to cut the pouch open. Whatever
Yeah.
this little pouch is,
Because that
you
is
can't
like
get to
They
it.
you
can't
like
function.
you have like right. You have like took
They
their
can't
heroin away.
function.
You
Yeah,
have
they
took
on
their
drugs
heroin
early.
away.
My
It's called
daughter
ether.
was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Kids, some children walked back out.
They not going to
but,
school.
but Principal Brooks had at least 12 people at the entrance of his school with wands. Unfortunately, checking bags. Kids were walking out. Once they saw that, he diffused a lot today.
Mm.
But the
Yeah.
kids that walked out, he said, once you stepped on my property, you're in my building.
Mm.
So
Right.
you've got to come back. So give me a book bag.
Right.
Right.
He found a lot of stuff going through those book bags for the safety of
Okay.
the children.
Right.
And then the finale of this entrance was this pouch. And I actually stayed for about 30 minutes just to
Just to see.
laughing
Man,
internally
I
at the
agree.
reaction
I
of
totally
the
agree.
children.
I totally
as
agree.
well.
I totally agree.
Could not use their phone.
You think we was on cell phones in the class?
No.
We didn't even have cell phones then.
I got in trouble for doodling.
So before we get out of here, everybody want to shout out something or make an announcement? Feel free to give your Instagram. Oh, I'm gonna make this announcement. I know if you're looking for information about I'm Every Woman, you can go to chefconnie.org. chefconnie.org.
Ladies, we need you there. 2,500 women to save these girls.
So Ash, you got anything you want to shout out?
Oh, okay. Go to
Instagram,
Reality
mhm.
Recycled. For Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can go to, if you deal with TikTok, you can go to AJ the Bunny 21 for all your DIY and holistic health tips. And new website coming soon. And next week on Monday will be the first day of Copper Coffee. So just tune in with me on Monday from 2 to 4 for Copper Coffee.
Okay.
Oh,
Chef Connie,
I already said my piece.
Dr. Shamara.
Peace and love, everybody. I hope that you all take good care of yourselves and each other. So I'm
She
Dr.
can't get up- she
Shamara
trying to get up
Collins.
on her.
I
That's the
go
lot-
by
the lot
Dr.
of people.
Shamara. No social media because it's bad for my mental health. And
Hey.
I know that. But I am on LinkedIn if you want to check me out there. Just give me a Google SHAMARA. It means to protect. So I'm on there and I hope to protect you all with my clean energy initiatives.
Oh man.
And she's having a workshop at the Liberty Rec Center. Please go to chefconnie.org. End of business today
There we
to
go.
find out more information about the workshop for solar energy.
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
gonna be
and
dope.
the catch and remedy tents, because we've been doing a good show. You could tune in on Reality Recycled on IG later today. I'll get you that information because it ties in hand in hand with what we discussed
Yeah.
today.
Okay. All right.
In
And
sync.
you can catch me at DJ Knowledge, DJ NILEDGE on everything. Thank y'all for tuning into the DJ Booth Radio Show. House Music Lovers, September 16th. We'll have a me, myself, DJ Mr. Showtime, and DJ TMS will be at Bar Elite, which is down there by the Horseshoe, Ridgely Street, down there behind the Royal Farms by the Horseshoe. So House Music Lovers from 8 to 12. Make sure y'all be there. Y'all definitely shouted out before then. So thank y'all for tuning in, y'all. Peace.
Later.
And she's got on K motherfucking Swiss.
Wasn't that exciting?
Yeah.